Welcome back. The American Medical Association just released a new report showing the connection between football and head injuries. It tested the brain samples of 100 deceased players and found all of them could have CTE, or chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Now, FiOS 1 News and the Journal News worked together to dig deeper into this story. Ray Ramundi has more.
The tackles, the sacks, the helmet-to-helmet contact. It's the part of the sport fans thrive for, which makes the game one of America's most watched. But a new investigation by the Journal of American Medical Association revealing the possible brain dangers football athletes face. That consequence, chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE, a progressive degenerative brain disease associated with repetitive head trauma. Dr. Ann McKee, Director of Neuropathology at New England VA Medical Center, conducting the study.
110 out of 111 former NFL players had diagnostic lesions of CTE at autopsy. We found 91% of college players, and we found even evidence of CTE in some high school players, about 3 of 14 or 21%.
And those 3 high schoolers in the study who tested positive for the brain disease.
Talking about subconcussive impacts here.
Is what grabbed the attention of Journal News sports editor Leif Skodnick and sports reporter Mike Daugherty.
How is this topic affecting youth, high schoolers?
This is something that the high school athlete and the parents need to at least educate themselves.
Daugherty and Skodnick spending the last 2 weeks interviewing over 20 subjects, football athletes, coaches, parents, school administrators, and even directors of local football leagues.
These studies are important, especially this one, because it is a large group. It's a biased sample, but it's a large group, and it's one of the first that shows that high school athletes are somewhat susceptible to CTE.
Dr. Barry Jordan, Assistant Medical Director at Burke Rehabilitation Hospital in White Plains, has examined hundreds of sports athletes in the world of boxing and football who have suffered from CTE.
Do you think there needs to be sweeping changes when it comes to contact sports starting at a younger age for high school athletics?
I believe there should be some changes, but they have been already initiated.
The New York State Department of Health says some 4,000 student athletes are treated for traumatic brain injuries at hospitals annually, and most of those injuries occur in contact sports like football. The state has launched a preventative campaign in order to empower student athletes, coaches, parents, and school administrators to effectively respond and react to concussions. That campaign, named When in Doubt, Sit It Out, was launched back in 2012. It's part of a comprehensive guideline for concussion management in schools across our state. All-American collegiate Duke defensive tackle A.J. Wolf knows all too well about concussions, CTE, and its dangers.
A.J. Wolf.
A stellar college football career, the Briarcliff Manor native had over 133 tackles and 10 quarterback sacks.
It is dangerous, and there needs to be better systems in place to take care of it. But it's not the end of the world if you play high school football, in my opinion.
Both neurologists and those conducting this study admitting it's tremendously biased, based upon brain donor samples from player family members who showed symptoms of CTE, the depression, memory loss, confusion, and even dementia. But the 3 cases of high schoolers who tested positive, spurning many questions.
Here we have 3 cases in 14 where these people had only played high school football, and they did, and we just don't really know beyond in the greater population of high school football players what the population is, and it's going to be difficult to find out.
Until that data can be collected and technological innovation can be created to test for CTE while players are alive and not deceased, will the sport, as it's played among young athletes in the lower Hudson Valley, be forever changed? So far, neurologists and coaches say long-term neurological injury is low, but vigilance and education is key. Ray Ramundi, FiOS 1 News.
Thanks very much, Ray. You can read the entire story at lowhud.com. It is already posted online. It'll be in the hard copy version of the paper this coming Sunday. And up next, I sat down with some of the key people at the Journal News who worked on that report. You'll hear from them next.